focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the heartland of England here, Kent in Great Britain, for the latest instalment of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service. We're into the second half of the season. We've come back after a week's break, and what better way to start off than in the homeland of Apex Racing TV, sort of, in the commentary box alongside me, Adam Bath, for this 1 hour race tonight. It's iRacing Road Pro Series champion, BSRTC driver, and iRacing Le Mans Series driver as well. It's Alex Simpson. Alex, not often that the Ricmotech Sports Car Series comes to Great Britain, but we're here today and we're at Brands Hatch, one of the best circuits in the UK.
Yep. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we've not had to travel too far for this one, have we? Just down the road in Kent. Oh, wow! If only. It's still a bit of a trek, actually, even more so from you. But great circuit. I do love this place. Old school, you just want circuits to be like this. I mean, what we need to do with today's modern day cars, I think, is just take it and stretch it. So the straights are all a little bit longer, but the corners are kind of the same. There's no real concrete runoff areas and things like that. It's really punishing, and yeah, I like the circuit. Like I say, just need to stretch it a little bit.
Well, we were at Paul Ricard on Sunday. I don't think we could get much more of a contrast of circuit in terms of runoff areas and just a sea of blueness and so many different varieties of layouts on that circuit as well. It was enough to make the mind boggle. Well, going into the second half of the championship, which begins here today, it's Stephen Thomas that leads the way. The championship is pretty finely poised. It's apparently the closest points that we've had in quite a while going into the second half of the season. It says, it's Stephen Thomas leading the way for Driftline Racing. Then it's Kevin Ford, just 11 points behind him. And then it's Jeff Jacobs third, Clint Vigers fourth, Tyler Schiffler in fifth. In joint fifth with Brandon Whitworth. That's the state of play in the GS Pro. That's the Pro category for the Mustangs. Then over in the Open category for the Mustangs, it's David Warren with a slender 3-point margin over Nathan Thomas, and then 4 points back to Andrew Fawcett. Then Raymond Bader Jr. 7 points behind him, and then Alex Coffard in fifth. Moving over to the Mazdas, pretty close in there too. It's Rob Hartley leading the way there. No surprises really, given that he's such an expert in.
Got closer though. He wasn't running away with it at the start of the season, and it's not as far. It's not as far out as it was. Sorry.
Maybe he's been falling asleep like I have the last few weeks, and Jim List is only 13 points behind him now, and that's pretty. Yes, that's 11 points in the Mustangs, 13 points in the Mazdas. That's how close it is. And it's Mike Dam, who last season was racing in a Mustang and is well known for racing in that kind of car, doing the Mazda for the first time, and only 2 points behind Jim List in third place there. That Crypto G orange car. It's Crypto G green in fourth with Pasquale Iannucci, and we've got Giuseppe Iannucci in fifth. Just 1 point between the two brothers there. That's how close it is. And then in the open category there, we've got Greg Macken, CT Racing's Chris Torment, level on points. It's Geordie Fike in third, a further 7 points back. And then it's Riders Shotgun Motorsports Mike Taylor in fourth with Mike Key in fifth. Right then, that's the championship standings out of the way. And as the drivers complete their qualifying session, take a look at what it takes to get around this 3.7 kilometre Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit.
Welcome everyone to Brands Hatch GP Circuit, located here in beautiful Kent, England. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today in the Ford Mustang around this 2.5-mile road course. Brands Hatch was originally a motorcycle race course back in the 1920s. Then on April 16th, 1950, the first auto race was held around the shorter 1-mile road course. 10 years later, the course was given permission to extend the track to its current 2.43-mile length and has continued to host motorsports racing to this day. Well, let's begin our track guide around this historic English road course as we get up through the gears and head down the front straightaway. You'll notice our pit areas to the right, main grandstands to the left as we head up the hill here to one of the most famous corners at the track, Paddock Bend. Turn 1 as we head down this drop off out of turn 1 to head up the hill to turn 2, Druids Bend. This is a late apexing corner. Very exciting at the start of races to see those packed fields come roaring up through that hairpin. Down through into turn 3, down the hill here, you want to get a smooth entry through the apex, get right back to throttle, use up as much exit as possible to get that speed to head down to Surtees. Very technical corner, roll off the brake, let the car settle right down to the bottom of the apex, get back to throttle, and pick up speed for the first long straightaway here at Brands. Overtaking opportunities here, certainly coming down this hill. A lot of speed here, some good draft on this straightaway. Mustangs will be hitting about 125 miles an hour as we approach turn 5, coming through the apex and exiting 5. We'll come into the very fast turn 6, just a light tap of the brakes. Come out of Westfield Bend, down the hill through Dingledale and up into Sheen Curve. Blind entry, turn 7. Got to get that entry just right. Take it right out to the edge of the grass. Back down on the brakes for turn 8, through Sterling's Bend, and up to the second last straightaway here, which brings us to Clark Curve. Turn 9, the final corner on the track. Another difficult corner. We want to get a good run out of here as it brings you up onto the front straightaway. Again, let it drift wide and get up through the gears and head down for our final crossing of the stripe here at Brands Hatch. That is your track guide for Brands Hatch. We appreciate you being with us. Thank you.
Thanks as always for the guys there providing a track guide for us. New circuit to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series as well, and looking from our dynamic camera here above the circuit, a few parts of the track I know well, or part of the viewing areas I know. I stood on that bank over there for the British Touring Car Championship a few years back in 2014 now. Went to the World Touring Cars back in 2008. That feels like a long time ago. Yeah, 10 years now since that happened. But Brands Hatch never seems to lose its character, Alex. And what's part of the circuits do you reckon these Mustangs and Mazdas are going to be really challenged on today? Is it going to be that Grand Prix circuit loop that could be really difficult?
Yeah, I would think so. But even still, the the tight, twisty sort of infield section as well. I mean, the whole circuit's quite a challenge actually, and I don't think people give it a true appreciation to the kind of the undulation there is on this circuit. I mean, I was lucky enough to spend the weekend at Brands Hatch with Graham Carroll when he was doing sort of the Formula Ford Festival down here, and we were able to walk the track to expect and whatnot before practice and things like that. And I tell you what, walking down Paddock Hill and up to Druids, that is just so steep. The undulation there is just crazy. So if drivers aren't sort of used, that'll wake you up a big way. First time you go down there and up that. So, but I think Druid's always a very tricky corner to get right. The first lap's obviously going to be very key. The pack is going to sort of really bunch up there. And Graham Hill Bend, you can use the runoff area there, but you take too much, it can bite you. So I think we'll see a few there. And 30s is a really tough corner. So there's a lot of challenging corners on here, that not just in the in the GP loop.
Those of you that haven't seen any racing taking place at Brands Hatch before won't be aware that the MSA are pretty strict about the amount of runoff area that you use on the exit of Graham Hill Bend after Druids. But here on iRacing, totally,
completely chalk and cheese, isn't it?
It's part of the racing line almost. Using that AstroTurf on the exit. Cars starting to form on the grid. You'll also notice that it's a full pace lap here, so drivers do get to have one final look at this 3.7 kilometer circuit, 9 corners. Always thought there was more than that, but yeah, not many. And yeah, it's going to be an hour-long race. Usually get the pit stops around 25 minutes into it, all the way up until about the final 10 minutes. That's how long some of the drivers can leave it. Of course, Mazdas and Mustangs both having different fuel amounts. Right, let's run you through the starting grid then. For the I was about to say the opening race of the day, the only race, because that's the only one. It's Aaron Nom starting on the pole position, Kevin Ford starting in second. So it's Ford second in the championship against Nom, who's in 8th. Still paying the penalty for missing the opening few race meetings there, Aaron Nom. Then it's Stephen Thomas in 3rd. 4th is Brandon Whitworth. Then we've got Jeff Jacobs in 5th. 6th TD Travis Davis, 7th Leon Wright, then it's Clint Vigus, Jennifer McDonald, then Russell Ruddock, Andrew Fawcett, Alex Coffard, Mike Monaghan, Matt Katila, and then Dave Warren rounding out the 15-car strong Mustang field. Then over to the Senna Mazdas. It's Mike Dam starting on the pole position there. Slowly starting to get to grips with this Mazda, and with an extra week off to maybe get some more preparation in, he could be really one to watch for the second half of the season now. Him and Hartley very close indeed. Then it's Travis Schwenke in 3rd. 4th on the grid, it's the 4th and 5th. It's the two Iannucci's. It's Cryptogy Green's Pasquale, and then Cryptogy Blue is Giuseppe. There's get to grips with the timing on the web. If you roll over the driver's name, it switches to their team name. Then it's Joe Boyd. Then it's Jeff Lavelle, Jim List in the List racing car. Then Dave Payton. All Aspect Motorsports number 7 car. That's getting driven by Zachary Rubin, Jordy Fike, Jason Walk, Chris Torman, Mike Taylor, Bobby Childs, Mike Key starting towards the rear. Then it's Patrick Prevenus, and then the cars that didn't set times. Nathan Thomas going at the back, and John Allen as well. And John Allen always wants to roll the dice with the fuel strategy, so we'll look forward to see how he gets on with that one, as the cars are now on their final formation lap, Alex.
Yep, just coming around to the GP section. And actually, obviously, one pit stop for those that just didn't catch the start. Of course, we have 4 classes here, so we have a GS Pro, GS Open, and if I up on screen. So yeah, so they are indicate. So you got blue, and actually, if I just switch over slightly like that, you can see you got a dark blue, which is the Pro, and the Open is the light blue, and then the dark green You can just see Key at the very bottom. He's light green. He is the ST Open, so you can just sort of in the two classes there.
Getting set then for the second half of the season here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, which begins today at Brands Hatch. I would tell you where the rest of the series goes. There we go. Next week we go to Mid-Ohio. Then we go to Phillip Island. And then we end the season at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Watkins Glen, and the traditional end-of-season party at Road Atlanta. Here we go then. Aeronom and Kevin Ford leading the field to the green flag as we go racing here in round 7 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
Yeah, good start from Norm. Ford, not able to get around the outside. Short run, of course. Paddock, and then into Druids. Good first couple of corners, no issues. Everyone giving themselves some space out there. Then down and into Graham Hill. Oh, I say space, there's not a lot of it. Who that was? I think that was Clint Vigus, wasn't it? Just getting a little nudge there. Going on with the Mazdas. Here they come.
Yeah, here they go. Good start by Vigus, by the way, 1 position gained. Here comes Mike Dam then. Dam is on the inside. Outside is Rob Hartley in the Madhouse racing car. And Mike Dam just about has the lead as they go up towards Druids. It's Jarosz Venki that's trying to split those two up. And Pasquale Iannucci there in the bright green Mazda MX-5 also trying to gate crash this party here as everybody has made it through the first 2 corners without incident, and we get to see the drivers using the runoff area on the exit. It's one of the blue and red cars there has an issue on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. That was Greg Mack in the 2+ Motorsports car.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. Just got a little bit out of shape, didn't he, through there. Easily done in the opening lap. Cold tyres, all that.
Good start by John Allen as well. He's already gained 5 places, and is that him going with? That's Jim List and Zachary Rubin, isn't it? Going at it, going into Hawthorne. That's List on the outside. Already made 2 positions from the start of the race. Zachary Rubin also flying 3 positions behind him. So both these two working their way up through the field pretty nicely, and already a front 5 starting to break away here. We've got Dam, Hartley, Schwenke, and the 2 Iannucci's. Plus, yeah, that is it. Yeah, all pretty much nose to tail as we're coming around to complete the opening lap of the race.
Yeah, that quite surprised me actually. I have to say, I expected to see that pack pretty close together, and the top 3 trying to do the same in the GS class as well. Ford and Stephen Thomas. Whitworth is 1.5 seconds back. He's got Jacobs tucked up behind him. Good little bit of side-by-side going on. I think that's Coffard and Monaghan, is it?
2 teammates. That is Coffard, and yeah, getting passed by Fawcett, I think. Alex and Andrew are 23 and 9. Yeah, that's correct. So those 2 doing okay. Coffard up 1 place, Fawcett up 1 as well. I know when it comes to the World Championship, Alex, that everybody's off in their own separate team speaks, but do you think that works best, or do you reckon I think like CQR do, you have all the drivers in the same team speak together so you can have eyes and ears on every single part of the track?
Yeah, I mean, there's advantages for both. I mean, no one would want me in their channel on World Championship Day, that's for sure, because my poor old man gets it in the ear if anything's going wrong, and they don't want to hear that. But there are times though when you just want to be in the same channel and just be able to instantly communicate, and yeah, that's where being all in the same one can help big time. Yeah, we tend to have the spotters jump back and forth between channels to do that.
I think in a series like this, or maybe even a series like the BSRTC on Thursday, you could probably do with everybody in the same.
Yeah, and I am in the channel on Thursday, and I just kind of learned to keep my mouth shut a little bit. Sancinelli into the pits. That's very early. Sorry, it's not Santinelli. It's Schwenke, isn't it? So Travis in. So I'm not quite sure why that is.
Forgotten to put fuel in? Surely not.
No, I'm gonna have a quick look. See, okay, so I've got a potential replay here.
Oh,
well,
it's a spin at Sheen. Yeah.
So let's see if we can go back a bit further.
No, this is on the second lap of the race. That's Sheen again. I don't know if we're able to go a tiny bit further back to see what happened.
Yeah, I think we should be able to get it. Here we go.
Yep. Here we go. This is going up through Dinglesdale into Sheen Curve now. Oh, was that 2 wheels on the grass, or was that just him losing it on entry? Either way, he goes head on into the wall, and that'd be very unfortunate if he picks up a meatball flag for that, because it didn't look like he hit the wall particularly hard.
No, he didn't. He really didn't. So, but I have to say, I think that's what has happened. He's still in the pits now, so not looking good at all for Travis. It's just been one of those seasons that, you know, when you just want to just will it over. You're like, come on, get it done, get it gone. I just want to move on to the next thing. And yeah, I think that's kind of where he's at the moment.
Looking here at John Allen, who is moving on up at the moment, 8 positions gained since the start of the race, up to 27th place overall. That's a position gain just on this lap. He was 28th at this time a lap ago, now it's 27th. Next up is 26th place Greg Mack. Look at the speed that he carries through. That is part of the racing line these days, putting 2 wheels into that gravel trap on the exit Paddock Hill bend, and John Allen in a bit of a hurry here.
Yeah, really revving that car as well. Oh, he almost bit him, didn't it? So you're right, he's got the bit between his teeth, and he's trying to get these moves done as quickly as he possibly can. Down 27th, late on the brakes. Look at the back end just getting away from him as he goes in. Well held, and just pick up a little bit of draft from in front, but could be vulnerable down this back straight.
Good move though, nonetheless, going into 30s. There goes John Allen through into 26th place now. Looking at the class positions, that is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, into the top 10. I think that's a gain of 9 places as well. Shows you how many Mustangs that we've got in the field today. Is we have a great camera view there of Schliegen Curve from behind. Now going into Sterling's bend, 90 left, and John Allen quickly closing on that group in front. And next on the list for John Allen is Geordie Fike, who is doing pretty well in the championship standings. Fike is 3rd in the open category, just 7 points behind the joint top leaders in Greg Mack and Chris Torman. As we look at Zachary Rubin, who sits in first, second, third, fourth, 5th position. A great view there behind the wheel. Now looking from the wheel arch at the front left.
Yeah, trying to get a good sort of rear-facing shot, but I can't seem to find one.
There's always the gearbox camera. There we go.
Yeah, which we'll have to go to. And just on cue, this goes to the right-hand side, so we can't see him. Oh, there he is.
It is the camera angle I like to use quite a lot, I think, in the BSRTC on Thursday night. Look at this. Bang. Goodbye, there goes the camera.
Yeah.
Any more where that came from? There's a
get much closer than that, does it? So perhaps a little bit of bump drafting going on down the back there. But yeah, Ruben, you can see on the mini-map the gap that's really forming. Of course, it's the top 4 now. Look at the intervals between them as well.
Oof, it's Allen. John Allen has spun at the Sheen Curve. Just noticed
giving
that in
it
the background.
Absolutely everything, wasn't he? Just not holding back at all, and yeah, it's bit him a little bit.
Dropped back behind Jeff Lavelle now, so that's down to 29th place overall. About 13th place, I think, in the Mazda MX-5 class. So a bit of drama already in the Mazdas. Just looking at the gaps in the GS category as we cut back to it. So 1.1 seconds between Aaron Om and Kevin Ford. Well, this is a great battle here. This is between Travis Davis, Clint Vigus and Leon Wright. Just 0.4 of a second between Davis and Vigus. And then it's a further 0.4 of a second back to Leon Wright in 8th position.
And again, just for those that haven't tuned in, welcome as well, because we are on iRacing Live tonight, so some people may well have missed the series before, so I've just swapped over the mini-map as well, so you can see the two classes pretty distinguished there as well. So the blue is the GS, which is the Mustang, what we're looking at now, and the green is the MX-5, the ST class. And bit of traffic really for the leaders any moment soon, so let's just take a quick look at Aero and see if it's going to hold him up somewhat. Feel like Ford with that 1.1 seconds just wants to ensure that he stays in this slipstream as long as possible. Give you a huge run, does it, in this car, but gives you enough to be able to gain some extra lap time, and Ford does indeed find himself back within the second when the back marker comes into play. Nom through. And Ford gets through a lot quicker as well, and actually closed up no end there. So yeah, great negotiation of the bit of traffic there.
Can be a double-edged sword, traffic. Sometimes the car that you're lapping knows you just from the paint scheme or from the helmet. Like back in the early days of Senna, I think everybody knew which car was coming when you could see the bright yellow helmet. Also, when it comes to traffic, they tend to be okay at getting out of the way for the first car. It's just then the second, third, fourth that they can sometimes be a handful for if you're trying to get them lapped. So at least that's what I think I'm told anyway. But wait and see on that one, as we are now onto lap 8 of the race, and you can see there at the inside cars getting lapped, and Aero Nom's gap has been reduced to 0.9 of a second on that lap. Kevin Ford 0.3 of a second quicker with a 36.5 as we look here at the two teammates going at it again between Alex Coffard and Andrew Forsyth.
You'll have to forgive us for the slip of the tongue. It is 10 to 2 in the morning here as well, so I don't know about you, Adam, but I'm kind of feeling it tonight as well. Normally I'm okay up until about sort of 15 minutes to go, but yeah, it's been a long old weekend, and I think I was having to work until 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, so this Monday morning just gone. I'm feeling pretty knackered.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to the going home time on Tuesday.
Oh, this slow. I don't know what happened there, but you had to concede a few places.
Yeah, Zachary Rubin in 5th position in the Mazda MX-5 category with 5 positions gained. He's now got a bit of company here. We've got Joe Boyd behind. No positions gained yet for Boyd so far, but David Payton, who is the red and black car behind, driving for Coaxial Racing, has gained 2 spots since the start of the race and could be eager to make it 3, but for now it's these two going at it, and see if Rubin is able to keep Boyd at bay here as we go through Pilgrim's Drop.
Yep, no real issues. I think got the run, but I think he may, if we'd have been on board, we may have heard him just lift out of it a little bit there.
Through Westfields, now into Westfield Bend, and now into Sheen Curve. It's 90 right here. I say 90, it's a straight right. Whoa! Ooh. And a few drivers do that tonight, especially in the World GT Championship, and it's almost ended in disaster, but they just about got away with it there, Zachary Rubin. Here that does in terms of lap times here as we come out of the final corner. It's pretty close also for the lead as well. I think it's just about 0.2 of a second in it between those two, but over the line comes Rubin. They 41.4 Joe Boyd does a 40.8, showing the difference in lap times. And here he comes again here. Ruben having a huge amount of understeer going through Paddock Hill Bend. And from the front of Joe Boyd's car going through the Druids hairpin. And out to Graham Hill Bend, turn 3. If he gets a decent run out of here. Indeed. Using all that AstroTurf on the exit, you do not get an off-track point for that, amazingly. Hopefully there's...
yeah, only as long as you back onto the circuit by the time the Astro finishes. If you try and go a little bit too far, then you will get penalised for it. Not a particularly great corner there. Actually lost a little bit of time, didn't he? And that's the thing, you need to absolutely nail that sector to get a move down and into the GP section.
Indeed, yeah. Going into Westfield Bend now. The way they throw the cars to the corner as well, with such commitment that the Master's going to stick going through the right-hander. Now Shin curve again. That wasn't the best line by Boyd, and you could tell he just had to get the slightest touch off the gas. Yes, a much better apex though than Ruben that time. Swings and roundabouts on this lap because both Ruben and Boyd have had their own small little errors, and that's allowed each other to lengthen the gap in some cases and reduce it in others as they come out of the final corner to complete another lap. On to lap 10 of the race now in the Mazda MX-5 category.
A couple of cars into pit lane as well. Michael Monaghan. I don't know if that's an issue for him. He seems to be in pit lane for quite some time. And then also Bobby Charles into the lane. So I'm going to see if we can see what went on there. Is well, that's the aftermath of Michael's one.
Now that's down at the exit of Druids. Well, a bit of damage already to one of the Mustangs in front. There goes Monaghan. Looks like it's got all the traits of something on his own. The car was already going before he got onto the exit curve on the exit of Druids hairpin there, and yeah, problems for Monaghan. And fortunately, he hit the tyre barrier unless he's going to collect somebody. And
he must have had some damage there because he jumps back to the pits, and then also at the same time was this one as well. Oh, Bobby Charles ends up into the tyre barrier there, into even the Arco. Massive front left damage. Nothing you can do. Has to pull the car up. The Friday Night Racing driver is done.
Incident involving cars 61
happens when
and
you
88.
race on a Monday night, isn't it? You see?
Yeah.
That was terrible. I know.
Nice. I've done worse. Incident involving cars 61 and 88 under review, which gives you an opportunity to do your under review graphic, I believe, that we have at our disposal on the new overlay.
I know. I wonder if they've forgotten about that little tool because I haven't seen them sending any messages. So, let me just, yeah.
I know that we do have, back in the day before we started this season, we did have the stewards in our ear telling us about investigations, but I think we've got it on screen now, I think. And obviously, 61 and 88 is referring to the Bobby Childs incident. Yeah, so we'll wait and see what he does on that one. Obviously, Charles's race is somewhat ruined. I wonder if the stewards will take the tack of ruining car 61, ruining Mike Taylor's race as well. But his day's already been ruined a bit, so we'll wait and see on that one. But either way, here is our second place man in the Mustang category, Kevin Ford. He is currently 2 seconds away from our leader.
Yeah, gap has built up just a little bit. On right, and Jeff Jacobs having a good battle, and this little battle as well between the teammates and Donald. Been going on for quite some time. I might have to give some of the MX-5s a little bit of love because it just calmed down a little bit. I did send the admin, actually, our admin web sheet so that he can just update it, and there we go, and right on cue. Evolving car 61 and 88 under review.
There you go. Slowly some new features coming to the overlay. We've got some small appearance changes coming up in the not too distant future that I saw in the testing section this week.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out on the live timing, actually, you'll see there's a section to the right, and that's going to have like an event viewer on it as well, with when it all happened, and you can actually filter your specific drivers. So if you're a team, you can do that. It's basically up and running. I just need to update my live timing software here to get all those features up and running. So hopefully next race meeting they'll be fully working for us.
Yeah, I even noticed there's a handy search bar in there.
Yeah, right at the bottom, the filter. So like you say, yeah, if you were just interested in what was going on between for Kevin Ford, for example, you're a fan of him, you just type in there Kevin C. Ford, as that's his racing name, and what it do is it bring up a list of all of the events, so you'd know when he's gone off track, who he's overtaken, when his pit stop was,
yep.
All that sort of stuff.
Revolutionary new timing software. Really look forward to seeing how far we can push it, really. Qualifying is still a work in progress.
It's moved on quite a bit, and I don't know if you've seen that. It does sort of show now, obviously, out laps, and it comes up on screen when they are. It gives you a delta between the pole position lap at the end of their lap as well. So it's coming along. It's just I know we were desperate for the sectors, weren't we? So I think it's still on Pascal's to-do list.
Hopefully by the time Andrew Woodhouse gets up and running, that will be a fully fledged feature as we await his new PC's arrival, which is why he's been absent from the broadcast for the last few weeks. He's got an excuse. I don't really have one, but yeah, another broadcaster in the midst helps as well.
No further action we're seeing on screen then.
Yeah, no action
between the 61 and 88. So I'd say that was probably fair, to be honest.
Looking here at Rob Hartley versus Mike Dam then. This is the battle for the lead in the Mazda MX-5 category. Mike Dam and Rob Hartley both exactly where they started. And as far as I'm aware, Mike Dam has led every single lap in the Mazda category so far as we approach the 25-minute mark in this race. And we'll start to see some pit stops, which is handy because they do have the strategy info from Kevin Ford to hand.
Oh, Hartley just running wide there. It's not going to cost him too much time. Of course, this car has massive amounts. Oh, that might.
That is an armful of Oppo.
Yeah, needed that.
Now, Mustang's front-wheel drive and front-engined as well. Mazda MX-5 with the rear-wheel drive, and you could see there how he was fighting for control, going down, going into Surtees. Here, going into Surtees as well is Jim List.
I think they're going to have traffic very, very soon. There it is. There's the leaders as well coming through in the Mustangs.
Fortunately for them, they are in a fast part of the circuit, so they shouldn't be causing too much trouble. That being said, they start going wheel to wheel, going through some of the corners, like Jim List has got his eyes on Joe Boyder doing. Then this could get pretty interesting indeed. Here comes Aeronomnan up the inside. That looks like John Allen that he's just got by. Now it's to try and get by these two, List and Boyd. Either thinking about doing it into clearways, or you can do it down the front straight. Either way, it's going to happen sooner or later. The trick with traffic though is you've got to stay try and remain calm and stay on your racing line. Make the car that's lapping you go offline and get it done. And sometimes, Alex, the tendency is you can see the quick car coming and you start doing things like going offline and whatnot. And
which is, to be fair, the worst possible thing that you can do as well. That hurts big time, because they're just expecting you to do your normal thing, and yeah, the minute you do something out of the norm, they struggle big time.
Bit like DC and Spa 98.
Yeah, exactly that.
That was Ferrari asking McLaren for David Coulthard to move out of the way and let Schumacher through, and then we all know what happened next. And it's coined quite a repetitive phrase that we sometimes use in the Apex commentary booth, as this Mazda battle continues between Jim List and Joe Boys as they go through Westfield Bend. And who's that arriving on the scene? That's John Allen. So while we've been away, he's been once again flying up through the field, and right back in with a shout at the top of a top 5 finish in the Mazda MX-5 category. In fact, all of these cars really are, as Pasquale Iannucci lines up another of the Mazdas going into clearways. That is John Allen, who's just trying to get by. Nathan Thomas, black flagged. Don't know why. Thomas sat in... dear me, he's down in...
incident limit violation, I'm hearing. Drive-through penalty for car 10, so...
Well, we did say that you're allowed to use some of the AstroTurf on the exit of some of the corners, but it looks like Nathan Thomas has not abided to that too much, and I mean, obviously we don't see the same off tracks as in the sim. Ours are done by like the GPS points, aren't they? And yeah. I'm seeing 19 right now, so like I say, that's not necessarily 100% accurate. So it's quite a lot though compared to everybody else. What I will say, that another driver who's going to have to watch himself is John Allen, and he was on the ragged edge earlier on, wasn't he? So guessing that's what's happening. I do have the official incident limits to hand, the official incident count to hand, and John Allen's been black flagged as well. He's got 21 incident points, John Allen.
Yeah, because obviously we only see off tracks.
There he is. Yeah, the official incident count for John Allen is 21.
And that's literally why it's changed on our screen as we speak as well. So car 22, same problem. So, yep. The admin today, ruthless.
Well,
does he come in?
It's like,
he does come in. Oh, you got to be careful. You know what? You might even have a penalty for that, Alan, as well, because you can't. You've got to be inside that line.
Dotted line.
You've got to be inside that line. So this might be twofold.
Well, hopefully it's not a double whammy for John Allen. 21 incidents. The rules are there for a reason. I learned that the hard way a few weeks back. Non-racing related. But John Allen gets back onto the circuit. Fortunately for him, it's not too much of a penalty. As into the pits come Clint Vigas and Russell Ruddock as the pit stops begin here at Brands.
But plays well and truly open. And just a word from the race steward there as well. So anything over 17, and yeah, going to be handing them out. So, and then it's every 5 thereafter as well. So if they don't clean up their act, I mean, we're only half an hour into this race. They're going to be in some sort of trouble, I would think. Well, just before sort of pit stops get a little crazy, I don't want to leave it while we're watching this little battle here, but I think we just need to go quick advert break, say hello to our friends over at Ricmotech, who of course support the series. Without them it doesn't happen, so it's time to say hello and yeah, let's see what they have on offer.
We're back here on Apex Racing TV and looking at our leader as he disappears behind the trees here at Brands Hatch in Great Britain. Aeronom with a quite comfortable advantage, 3 seconds, as the pit stops start to begin, and into the pits has just come now TD, Travis Davis. Sat in 4th position, and he's going to be taking on tyres and fuel like a good half a dozen have done so before him. Just looking on the strategy briefly, we haven't really talked tyres or fuel. Mustangs will go about 13 to 14 laps on a tank of fuel, and we're expecting the race to go about 37 to 38 laps, and 1 lap 19 now, so it does make sense. We're just about at the halfway point of the race. They will more than likely just take 2 tyres on this one, and we can see that because the stops are so quick. We're looking at about 17-18 seconds for most of the Mustangs here.
Just we went away, there was a whole host of pit stops. Interestingly, the window is quite large, I think, for both classes today, so we've still got quite a few drivers that haven't pitted in both. But Mike Dam and Rob Hartley, of course, in the ST class, decided to do that while we were at a break, and they carried on as they were. Although, if I do show you it on screen, Dam has picked up a 2.4 second lead, so he was just a little bit quicker in the pits. Although he's got some traffic right now, and another whole group of cars coming into the pits. We've got Zachary Rubin, Jason Walk and Geordie Fike in, and what you can see on the graphic on the screen is you've got their pit lane time, which is just the normal sort of counter that's going up right now, and then where it says pit, that will change to a stationary time as well, just to give you an idea how quick people were in the box. 20 seconds, 20 seconds and 23 seconds, so slow for Jason Walk, 3 seconds slower, so obviously took a little bit more fuel.
From memory, when the pit stop time graphic comes up once the pit stop itself is over, damn, understeering very wide going out of that left-hander. And it has been a recent trend in some of the Mazda MX-5 races in this series, is that the first stint seems to be pretty lively, and then the second stint somewhat fizzles out. But Mike Dam has now got Greg Mack in between himself and Rob Hartley. Mack is yet to come into the pits, make his 1 stop, so for now he is the stopper in the bottle between him and Rob Hartley. As into the pits comes our race leader Aeronom. Yet to see if anybody else follows. Kevin Ford doesn't. He takes the lead, and Stephen Thomas goes through into 2nd place, as well as we look at John Allen, who
I'm bringing John up again because I've got a instant limit violation number 2.
Oh, really?
Another drive-through penalty as well. So this meeting is going from bad to worse for John Allen. Not only did he not qualify particularly well, or he didn't qualify at all, did he? He got himself all turned up and into the wall earlier on. He's had 1 drive-through, got another now. So, and yeah, like I say, we are 34 minutes into this race, so this is going to be a long race for him, I feel.
Well, the limit, and then you get a drive-through, is 17. Now got 24, and in he comes again. Looking here at Kevin Ford, though, he's now taken he's assumed the race lead. Going to be interesting to see if he stays in there permanently. I think he's going to have to put the hammer down, because the gap between him and Aeronom before Nom came into the pits to make his stop was a good 2 seconds or so, and I know Ford is that good, but Nom is just as good as Ford in this Ford Mustang, and I'm sure he's not going to let 2 seconds slip unless there's a disastrous pit stop or a lightning pit stop for Kevin Ford. Let's see if the race leader comes in this time. Indeed he does. There he goes. Got to be inside of that white line by the time you cross that line on the exit clearways, and he's joined in the pits by Stephen Thomas as well, and that pretty much completes pit stops in the Mustangs. The only driver yet to come in apart from those guys is Matt Cattil, no, Nathan Thomas, who's gained 22 positions and currently sits in 12th place. But
want to point out, you can see the little on the mini map on screen, the filter has just picked up Nom, so that's Nom coming around the final corner now. Ford is away. This is going to be extremely close. Is he going to get up to speed? I think he is. I think he's just going to nick the lead here. He is, and into the shot comes Nom. There he is, just behind. So great pit stop for Kevin Ford.
Well, I know that on the graphics that we use for the Le Mans series, we do have a pit stop comparison graphic to hand.
We do indeed. Let me see if I have got that here. I can probably import it while you're filling, and yeah, I will. I'll get that, and we can see the comparison.
Because it is dressed, I can tell you that. It's a lot of time gained from Kevin Ford in that pit stop. As we look at Leon Wright, currently sat in 6th position here. Gains 1 spot so far. One of the quickest pit stops in the entire race so far, I think. Yeah, 17-18 seconds. That seems to be the majority of pit stop times. In terms of the Mazdas, things have cycled through now in that category as well. It's God, Nathan Thomas is really pushing it with the incidents as well. He's now up to 23. I wonder if a black flag could be heading his way in a moment. Yeah, in the Mazdas, it's Mike Dam back in front. He's got a half a second advantage over Rob Hartley in 2nd place. Got a good battle as well in the Mustangs between Stephen Thomas and Clint Vigas. This is over 3rd and 4th. 0.2 of a second between them. And Thomas is where he started. He started 3rd on the grid, currently sits there. Clint Vigas though, Alex commented on, there you go, Nathan Thomas black flagged. So he's going to be coming back into the pits as well. Not going at all well for those guys, and I wonder if they could be sent away for some to relearn their license or whatever, some re-education potentially for John Allen and Nathan Thomas. Not often we see drivers in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series getting that high an incident limit.
Sorry about that. I couldn't change the camera while I was quickly doing that as well. So let's take a quick look then. If I find Kevin.
I know when I was trying to use the pit stop comparison graphic in the Le Mans series on Wednesday last week, I couldn't get it to work perfectly, but let's do more of it. Incident involving cars 2 and cars 0, 2, 0 and 09 are under investigation by the stewards. Now, car 09 is, looking on the timing screen, I can only see one car with a 9, and that's Andrew Fawcett. Car 2 is Greg Mack. Actually, no, it's an incident involving Greg Mack and Geordie Fike. That's under investigation. We've got cars 9 and we've got a car 09 as well. So something's happened between those two.
Bring that up in a second. We'll have a look, see if we can find them. So yeah, so to confirm then, so 18.5 seconds stop stationary time for Ford against a 23.6 for Nom. So very slow. Even Thomas was considerably faster. So if we actually look at the total sort of pit lane time as well, it was 39.6 versus 44.7. So quite dramatic change there. So that is why we have a race on our hands.
Could that be something as simple as Nom just overshooting the box going into the pit lane?
Yeah, absolutely. It could have been. We weren't watching Nom's pit stop, so. But yeah, you can make a little mistake like that, and it will come back and bite you. So yeah, Ford with a little bit of pressure now, though.
Indeed, he is. Yeah, here comes Nom. Wants this lead back, and Going to be interesting to see how quickly you can go about doing it. Remember at Kota a few years back, we had someone who lost the lead unexpectedly and managed to close a good 8 seconds on that occasion and get the lead. Remember that one pretty well. It's one of our best Ricmotech Sports Car Series broadcasts. But here comes Aeronom now, up to the top of the hill, up Halewood Hill, up into Druids Bend. I think the official name is Druids Hill Bend as well. And there's a few other circuits on the British calendar that have Druids in the name. I think Alton Park does as well. But for now, here comes Nom then, going into Surtees as we are on board with reigning series champion.
A good drive, but he's just... We can see this car, once it winds up, there is a lot of draft up for grabs, but it just takes a little while. So much more confident on the brake is Nom. Oh, wide for Ford. He's going to be okay. But you can just tell he's feeling a little bit of pressure right now.
Feeling the heat. Ford definitely knows all about that. As we go through the right-hander. The Sheen curve and into Stirling's. I was just trying to find Kevin Ford's iRacing club. So I think he's from... looking on it. Hey, the Aeronom's got 0 incidents so far. He's the only driver not to pick up a single incident point. But here he comes as we look from the blimp. Coming across the start-finish line. Trying to get by Kevin Ford from the Plains iRacing Club. And Aeronom returns to the lead up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend. And Ford trying to get the lead back straight away here, going into Druids.
Yeah, I think he's got to put him under. He's got to, put him under pressure, pile it on. He made a little mistake, so give Nom confidence to be able to pull them all up, move off, and Kevin can just sort of say, "Well, I'm going to fight you for this one for the rest of the race."
I think we see something like that because Ford has been good in recent races. Aeronom, though, going to have to take a bit more than that to dethrone Nom at the moment. It looks a little bit interesting there, going through Hawthorne Bend. The Mazda MX-5 just making things a little bit more complicated. Good, very close battle for the lead in the Mazda MX-5s, actually. I think Rob Hartley may have just taken the lead. Going through Hawthorns, and off he goes. Back on again, leaving a trail of grass on a whole load of tarmacs of grass, and amazingly, that's somehow worked out, Alex. He's ended up back in the lead.
Indeed, this is something that we wanted to have a little look at a moment ago, and yeah, I think we have it for you now.
Nathan Thomas.
Oh, I just nicked it. Well, we've seen a few do that tonight, and that's what brought his race to an end. Nathan Thomas.
Remember a huge crash there in a Seat Leon Euro Cup race from a long time ago. Last time around then, Nom does a 30... Oh, as we go back to the battle for the lead in the Mazda MX-5s again. Over the line,
sorry, I kind of forgot where we were after the replay.
I was just looking, I thought someone had crashed or something. I was looking at the timing screen and something changed. Hartley did a 39.5 on that last lap compared to the 40.5 done by Dam. So there's the speed of Rob Hartley as he decides to take the lead with 15 minutes, a quarter of an hour to go here. No time in both classes as Nom returns to the lead there, and Rob Hartley gets his first go in the lead here today at Brands Hatch. 3 positions gained for Hartley as well during the race, just the 1 for Mike Dam. I bet you're wondering how Mike Dam's been able to gain a position considering he started on pole in the Mazda MX-5 category, and that is because there's been a few Mustang retirements which have allowed those Mazdas to gain some overall positions, and we can read out those retirements. Nathan Thomas is done after a drive-through penalty and a crash. Jeff Jacobs also out. Jeff Lavelle, Mike Monaghan, Bobby Childs, and Travis Finke, I think, is circulating, but he is quite a way behind. So see if he gets classified. Battle for the final spot on the podium in the Mustangs is heating up. This is Clint Vigus versus Brandon Whitworth going into the final corner.
Good to see Vigus having a better season, because he came in, did a very bit part role, didn't he, last season, and we just weren't used to seeing him where he was because he was really struggling. So yeah, good to see him back up the front.
Very trusting there, Clint Vigus, going through paddock kill bend. He went for a very, very late apex, and Brandon Whitworth could have easily gone up the inside, but thought better of it. Our camera on the exit of the Druids bend. Going into Graham Hill now, left-hander. And how much runoff area did it take? All of it on the exit. And yet they give you a 1x at Kota if you put 2 wheels onto the red tarmac on the exits of the corners.
Really?
What is this? Basically. Clint Vigus then closing up on a Mazda. Boy, he was going to have to... Oh, careful!
Plus the Mazda's strong in this section of the circuit because it's actually better in the corners. Does make it kind of tricky.
And that battle's now dissipated a little bit.
Yeah, all of a sudden Brandon just sort of dropped off there, didn't he? That's what can happen with multi-class racing, you know, you get caught in the traffic, don't quite get through cleanly. Funny, isn't it, those MX-5s, you hear them, those people are on the absolute limit.
I know.
This sounds like they're losing the car all the time.
Yeah, every time I hear it, when I hear a car, it's just that, oh, Vigus, off into the gravel, almost. Boy, he was about to. It looked like he had a bit of a moment there going through paddock hill, as we just cut away for a brief moment there, and looks like he's been able to carry on again.
Message from the race official: the incident involving car number 2 and 09 has been reviewed and no further action is necessary.
And 09 again. We can reiterate Greg Mack and Geordie Fike. Whatever happened between those two, like it's been settled, as Whitworth is determined to settle this battle between himself and Vigus. Looking at a camera that's been put on the dashboard, looking back at Brandon Whitworth. Now looking at the camera just over the shoulder.
Yeah, that's the one that I wanted. I haven't really brought the gyro up, so you never really know what you're going to get with the camera packs. Sometimes the gyros do face forward, other times they don't. Track really has got cars all over the place now. You can just see the two classes very, very mixed up indeed. The GS cars seem to be all over the place in the pockets of the MX-5s. Right, we are 10 minutes to go here, and I think we need to step away just for our final message for the series promoters. We'll be back. What will be the last 10 minutes of it's been a pretty exciting race so far.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch here in the United Kingdom, including parts of the final, final race of the day there. That's
it is for us.
It is our final race of the day.
Or the first one of the day, whichever way you want to look at it.
Incidentally, it is my final broadcast in this house. Step by step aside now until usually do the Wednesday and Thursday streams with the Come On series and the SRTC, but moving house. We'll be up there sooner or later. You'll have Sam Kumo though on hand for Wednesday's broadcast alongside the commentators of what should be Sam Fitzpatrick and potentially Marco Barbanero. Joseph Ringrose might be in the comms booth for that one. And then on Thursday, BSRTC, you'll have Sam Kumo with, I think, Marco again. Maybe Sam Fitzpatrick. Wait and see there as we look at this battle again in the Mustangs between Car 77 Leon Wright and TD Charles Davis. And Davis looking for it going into Sheen Curve. Oh!
Managed to survive. I mentioned this on the World broadcast as well, but Apex Racing TV are looking to hire at the moment as well. We are thinking about creating a full American team, so if you're interested and fancy a little go in the comms booth, you don't have to have any experience, you know, it's on the job training kind of thing, and we'll I'm not expecting miracles or anything. Yeah, let us know. Head on over to our website, epicracing.com. There's some job adverts up there. If you fancy just getting involved and helping out with our crew, there's a couple of sort of admin sort of positions as well. You know, stream admin is just kind of like getting a lot of things prepped ready for the broadcasters, and then a social media guy as well. And yeah. All paying positions. You're not gonna quit your job for it, but you know, fancy helping out and getting involved, and perhaps getting some pocket money to pay for your iRacing subscription and new tracks and cars and stuff like that when it comes out. Well, go on to the website and let me know.
There you go. Feel free to join the team.
Oh, Davis, he's getting a bit leery, isn't he?
It's this part of the circuit, isn't it? It's the run out of Westfields into Sheen Curve that is definitely providing cause for excitement for TD here as he tries to get past Leon Wright for a spot in the top 6.
Davis off in the end. Battle is going to come to a close. Well, it's going to be 7-8 tenths of a second, maybe just over the 1 second barrier. We've only got 6 minutes to go, so that 4 laps or so. So he's going to have to really go for it to get back that time that he's lost. Clint Vigas and Stephen Thomas very, very close. What else have we got going on out there at the moment? Of course, Mike Dam and Rob Hartley, they've been nip and tuck all race long. And maybe go time for Hartley at the moment. Jim List, he's battling with Joe Boyd. Those guys are 0.3 of a second apart. Another good little battle right behind them as well. And that is between Jason Walk, John Allen, who had a couple of drive-throughs, and of course David Payton there as well. So, been an hour long, but we've still got some good battles going out there, Adam.
That's been a really entertaining race, I must say. Lots of stuff going on here as we look at this battle between Dave Payton and Jason Walk. Just get the teams up quickly. I can tell you who they race for. Walk driving for the Walk Racing team.
No,
Payton.
In the iRacing live timing application, you can change the name in the menu to driver and team name. Yeah, helps you distinguish very quickly who is what.
There you go.
3 little pips, and then look down where it says data name and change that to driver and team name. Find that very useful, so you don't have to look up who's in what team. On the job training, see? Told you guys.
There you go. I wondered why we don't get paid courses.
Oh, Clint Vigus. Just jumped back to the pits.
Well, he's jumped back, so that must have mean something's happened on the circuit. Is it going to be Sheen Curve biting again? It's already taken a few chunks out of a few of the Mustang fields, and it is. Oh dear.
Oh, smash.
This time he
didn't
breaks
actually
the right
jump
rear.
back. He did drive it back, sorry, but he is into the pits again, so that car is toast. That's a shame. That was a good battle.
He only had 3 more minutes to make, and he would have been there. Home and dry. Here's Leon Wright versus TD Travis Davis. They're at it again, and surprised how none of these two have been able to copy what just happened there to him. Sheen Curve, a lot of room and respect given there as they go into Sterling's. Wright just doing enough to keep TD Travis Davis at bay. And this is also allowing our MX5 leader, well, yeah, our MX5 second place man I should say, Mike Dam, to get back involved again.
Yeah, all of a sudden he dropped back, didn't he, from Hartley? I don't really know what happened. It must have been a slow lap somewhere for him. But, yep. Damn. 2.5 seconds to make up. I can't see him doing it as well. Just a couple of laps to go, really. Or there's a good battle. This is between Liston Allen. Sorry, Liston Boyd. My mistake.
Not long to go then. Literally just over 90 seconds to decide this, and great battle this in the Mazda MX-5 class. I can tell you that Clint Vigus isn't back out on the circuit yet, so things could still be taking it or continuing to get worse for him. It's a shame. Up the inside then. On Jim List goes John Allen. And the driver that had a drive-through penalty early on is running rings around these players as they go in search of a win. England.
Good drive from List to get back there. Made some good moves tonight. He's comfortable by any means. Any kind of little slip at this point on the final couple of laps, and he's going to know about it, that's for sure. Ford definitely made a race of it with his strategy. Cool. Needs to, of course, get across the start-finish line. Will this be the last lap? They've got a minute to go. It might be.
This
might just sneak it in. Sneak another one in.
Yeah, we are really cussing it. We are really cussing it fine in terms of laps, actually. Yeah, we've got 40 seconds to go as he goes on to the outfield part of the circuit. I reckon this might just be the final lap. I don't see Nom completing the rest of the lap in 30 seconds. But credit to Kevin Ford though, Alex, half a second. He's kept him honest since Nom regained the lead.
He has done a great job. Just showing again, he's got that pace there. Just needs to iron out those couple of small little mistakes that Kevin's sometimes prone to. A little bit running deep here and running wide there, and I think he'll really be able to give Nom a run for his money.
Clock is at 0. This is the final lap. Kevin Ford tried everything. He got ahead in the pit stops, but Nom once again just too quick. Keep it to stay in second place, and he's going to come out of the final corner, take the checkered flag, and Aero Nom wins round 7 of the season in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service. Second for Kevin Ford, third for Stephen Thomas. Here comes Rob Hartley. He led pretty much the second half of this race after Mike Dam dominated the first. I hear contacts up in front, but no major damage to anybody in front as Rob Hartley comes into the final corner. He is going to take victory as long as he has enough fuel in the car and doesn't go off through the final corner. Still pushing it to the very edge of the circuit. And after the decimation of the Mustang field early on, looks like it's going to be, yeah, Hartley winning, Mike Dam in second.
List out of fuel.
List is...
No, but maybe very close, because he's lost an awful lot of time.
Oh! Good Boyd nearly going in front.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. Maybe he had a slowdown or something, because he was slow, or he's just let Boyd back through. I don't know.
Somebody's out of fuel. Is that John Allen?
That's Pasquale Iannucci.
Ah.
Going to get it to the end, but he has lost a couple of places on the final lap. Oh, he's begging and hoping. Fine, no, got to the high part. It's downhill from there.
That's going to be two. I think two of them are going to get him at the line.
Oh, it is as well. Oh, just the one in the end.
Yeah, just finishing in 20th. Did Peyton just get him at the line there?
I don't think so.
Might be, I don't know. We'll see when the results get retrieved. But anyway, Aaron on. There he is. The camera on him. Coming into the pit lane, and we say never in doubt, Alex, but I think there were 2 or 3 laps where Aaron on was a little bit worried. And Rob Hartley as well.
Oh, and they've already boxed, so I can't get the close up of the Hartley's car, which is a shame.
Come back into the pits now, and we'll go head off to their debriefing with the race stewards, and then if they've got a bit of spare time, they can come and speak to us, and we can get those results retrieved. And good way for the Ricmotech Sports Car Series to return to our screens here on Apex Racing TV. Don't forget, of course, we've got the Ricmotech World Challenge at some point. Their next race will be up and running, a 2-hour and 15-minute race. I don't know when we'll ever be. We'll be wide awake for that one, unless it's to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm wilting very, very quickly, so we'll get the top 2 in each class in just a second. Take us through the final standings, please. Adam, we'll start with the GS if you would.
Yep. So Aaron wins. Kevin Ford in second. Stephen Thomas completes the podium. Brandon Whitworth 4th. TD Travis Davison 5th, 6th Leon Wright, 7th Russell Ruddock, 8th for Alex Goffard, his teammate Andrew Fawcett behind him. Then it's Jennifer McDonald in 10th, Matt Catila 11th, 12th Dave Warren. Over to the Mazda MX-5s. Rob Hartley wins that one. A tale of 2 halves really, that race. Mike Dam in 2nd, Giuseppe Iannucci in 3rd, completing the podium. And Joe Boyd in 4th, Jim List in 5th. Jason Walk, David Payton, all ahead of Wally Iannucci, who ran out of fuel on the run to the line. And then John Allen, Clint Vigas, who picks up that crash into the wall late on. And Geordie Fike, Greg Mack, those 2 managed to get away without a penalty after an incident between the 2 of each other. Then then Chris Torman, Mike Taylor, Mike Key, Patrick Prevenis, Zachary Rubin. Then Jeff Jacobs. Then it's Nathan Thomas, who had a visit to the pits for too many incidents. And then Travis Schwenke, Jeff Lavelle, and Mike Monaghan and Bobby Childs all having issues during the race.
Well, we have got our winner in. Let's bring him in first.
Yeah. Aaron, well done. A great victory here at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, thanks.
It looked like it was all going according to plan, and then a slightly slower pit stop than Kevin. What happened? Did you overshoot the box? What happened in the pit lane?
No, I was a little bit slow in lap, and I got traffic out lap. Plus, I think I took 3 liters too much fuel, and I took 4 tires. So yeah, I knew it will be close, but it was I think if it didn't get traffic in the out lap, maybe I would have cleared him.
Once once you saw that Kevin had come out of the pits ahead of you, were you not too worried about getting back up to the Mustang in front and getting by?
Yeah, but I knew he had only 2 tires, so. But that's the reason I pushed very hard to get past as soon as possible, as my tires were holding up.
In terms of racing at this circuit, was it a bit more difficult with the traffic today? Not much room for getting the overtakes done around this circuit.
Yeah, it was very difficult, and I was trying to get 0 incidents. I think 2 laps to go, almost got turned by the MX-5, but luckily it was 0 incident contact, so yeah.
Yeah, the only driver in the field to get the race completed with 0 incidents. Well, next week then, I believe it's next week, the series goes to Mid-Ohio. Thoughts on that track?
I love it.
Cool.
Oh, sweet. That's what we want.
There you go.
This time of night.
Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, like always, the sponsors and the league admins and you guys.
Great. Well, well done on the win. Good performance out there, and yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us.
Yeah, thanks. See you next time.
Aaron Nomlet, our race winner. We'll move on to.
Well, I was going to try and bring in Kevin, but there we go. For a minute, I thought I didn't have the permission to move him in. I was like, what's going on?
I'm not allowed.
Kevin, well, congratulations. 2nd place today. You were pushed a little bit by Stephen Thomas, and then we honestly didn't see you with a chance of winning, and then suddenly you were in the front. And yeah, come as a bit of a surprise. But pit strategy got you there. Just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, it was tough. I knew Aero was going to climb back up on me there at the end, and I didn't want to really force the issue. I knew he was a little bit quicker. When he got that inside position coming off turn 9 there, I knew he was there, and I tried to fight back with him and pulling over and under coming down the hill up into Druids there, but didn't quite work. But it was a great race. For once, I actually had a really good pit stop tonight, and was able to get in and get out quick, so that was nice. Brands Hatch is a track that I just love. It's been one of my favorites for years and years, and I put a lot of time in this week, so it's amazing what seat time does, isn't it?
Oh, indeed. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah,
absolutely. I literally built an academy that just preaches that, you know, seat time, seat time, seat time.
That's right.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
We're going to kind of race through these, I'm afraid.
Sure, not
Kevin.
a problem.
So Mid-Ohio next week. Tell us about that circuit. How do you like that? And then if you would wrap up your interview with a shout out.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, Mid-Ohio, ironically, probably my favorite track on iRacing. Really looking forward to next week. It's going to be an endurance race. The forecast for weather is going to be a little warm, so grip is going to be a bit of an issue next week. We're probably going to have track temps up near 100 degrees, and as we all know, Mid-Ohio can be a little slippery with warm weather, so it's going to be an interesting race, a lot of strategy involved, so we look forward to seeing everybody out there for that race next week. Want to send a big thanks out to my family that are watching this evening, and big thanks to you guys for the fantastic broadcast you guys provide each week, and then a big special thanks to our sponsor Frank Rico at Ricmotech and all his staff there. So big thanks to everybody. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you at Mid-Ohio.
Thanks, guys.
There from Kevin.
Rob Hartley that joins us now. Rob?
Hey guys.
Yeah, hi mate. Well, congratulations on the win. It was quite a patient race for you. Don't think you really felt the need to go to the front. There was quite a nice little breakaway early on, and you guys were just able to kind of do your thing in the end, Mike and yourself, and stretch the field. And it was all about timing, I think, for you. You got through, got got some good traffic and that give you a bit of buffer.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Mike definitely had the car to beat tonight. So my plan was to stay with him as long as I could, and he got me a little bit in the pits there, and I thought I'd lost him. But the traffic worked in my favor, and I caught back up to him, and he short fueled a little bit, so he had to save there at the end, and I was able to gap him there with a couple laps to go. And then the Mustangs got in between us there the last 2 laps, and I was able to hand me the victory.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes sometimes. I mean, the traffic today, was that an issue for you guys? Obviously, we always, I think that's a lot of the time, you always look at it from the faster car having to go through the slower traffic. But, it's just as much of an issue for you guys as well. So, how was it?
It was great for me. Mike might think otherwise, but
I won't ask Mike that question. We'll know straight away.
Everything just kind of went right tonight, and that's what it takes to win one of these guys. With these guys being so fast.
I think you were running away with the championship at the start of the season, but it got a bit closer in the last one. So I think it was a good result for you, just to kind of stifle the momentum of the guys behind you.
That's right. I'm glad to get back in the winner's circle.
Awesome stuff. Well, congrats, mate. Mid-Ohio next week. Quick, tell us about that, if you would, and then give us a shout out to your team.
Yeah, Mid-Ohio is a good track for me. I always like running there. Seem to have good results, and just like to thank everybody involved that makes this happen. You guys for putting on the broadcast, and Frank and TD's Tree Service, our sponsors, and Kevin and Jeff Jacobs, the admins. They do such a great job.
Thanks very much, mate. Have a good week, and we'll catch you at Mid-Ohio.
Thanks.
Last but not least, Mike Dam is with Adam.
Mike Dam, hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
First half of the race and the qualifying session as well. Went all according to plan. It was it Hartley's pace in the second stint that that got it for him in the end, or was there something that might have been up with the car at that point?
You know what? I went into the pits and I probably took 0.1 or 0.2 gallons too little. So I came out and I'm like, crap, this isn't enough. So I was fuel saving for the last like 15 laps there. Just trying to hold on to Hartley there.
How much of a close run thing was it at the end? Were you?
I sputtered on the line.
Oh dear.
So I had enough. I was kind of playing it. I was keeping that gap behind Hartley while I was fuel saving there, and I was doing a pretty decent job of it, I think. But unfortunately, I think with 5 laps to go, we got split up there with some Mustang traffic, so that kind of ruined it for me. But it was a darn good race by Hartley.
Before you go, Mid-Ohio next week. Your thoughts on that one, and on that, would you be able to send a quick shout out to whoever you want?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all these guys who race so clean, and they have a lot of respect for everyone else. I like to thank the admins, Kevin and Jeff, for putting this on every week. They put a lot of work into this, and so also like to thank you guys for broadcasting. I should also mention Ricmotech as well.
But you need to thank the wife for getting the dinner ready in the background as well.
There you go. Oh, yeah, well done. Well done on the second place. Mike, we'll let you go get some food. I think we'll go to bed as well, I think, so.
Yeah, you guys gotta be pretty tired. See you later, guys.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Well then, that is it from here at the Ricmotech Sports Car Series at Brands. Alex, that hour pretty much flew by. That was quite a good one.
Yeah, it did. Good. Yeah, good race. I was actually looking, because obviously I've got the sort of event filter, and I can't see that Mike overtook anybody that all race long, because I was trying to find an overtake to show. I can see Mike getting overtaken, of course, when he went into the pits, but apart from that, he didn't make any overtakes, so he was that literal one move that Rob did, slot him back that one place. He must have led the most laps today by quite a margin, I would think. So we'll have to have a look at that stat, but that's pretty unheard of. Normally, MX5 races, the lead change happens all the time. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the filter's just not working. But yeah, I can see where he's been overtaken a little bit with the pits and that. So pretty much goes to show what Hartley said. He had the car to win there. The little mistake with the fuel. Right, we're all done, mate. Let's wrap up this show and hit the sack, I think.
Indeed, yeah. So my thanks to Alex for joining me in the comms box, keeping me awake. I think keeping us both awake. I think during the course of the evening. And yeah, the next action on Apex Racing TV is Tuesday night with the BSO MX5 series, and make sure you can join Alex again in the comms box and the streaming booth for that one, alongside Chaz Dracar, who was racing today in the World GT Championship. I'm sure he'd want to watch that again after his mistake that he made. But yeah, what a race it's been here at Brands Hatch. What a win for Aero Nom, and what a race by Rob Hartley as well in the Mazda MX-5s. We'll see if they can continue that when we go to Mid-Ohio next week. But for now, for me and Alex here at Brands Hatch in the UK, good night.